guys, welcome back to Wixfix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, we are going to be redesigning this pro website for a videography/photography type website. Now, this isn't like a website that is super cool or anything like that, and it is made in Wix. But what I do want to appreciate about it is the proper use of white space or negative space to create a really nice website. A lot of websites that I see that are made on Wix seem very condensed and very squished together, but I feel like this website does a really good job at spacing everything out and giving all of their content room to breathe. But let's go ahead and get started. So if we take a look at the website, the first thing we're going to have on the top is basically a giant video with play reel right here. Now, what I will say is that something I don't like about this website is first come to this website, you don't understand what they do. You know, you can probably assume that it's some video production, especially with this play reel button down here in the bottom left. But typically you want to have some text above the fold, which is basically means before you scroll. So you want some text above the fold that explains what your website is or what your company is and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and add a strip just like that. We're going to make this quite large because this is the hero section. So we want this to be the first thing your users see and we want to wow them. So we're going to make this 800 pixels high and then we're going to change the background to a video. Now, like I mentioned before, I don't like how they didn't have text here. So to show you a more professional way of doing it, we're actually going to add some text right here. But I actually don't want it to be just overlaying the image. I kind of want there to be a gradient. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is copy and paste the strip right here. I'm going to attach it on top and then I'm going to change it to a color and we're going to choose a gradient. Now, the reason we didn't just apply a gradient to this strip right here is because sometimes when you overlay a strip on a video on the same strip, it kind of doesn't look right. So what I like to do is stack two strips on top of each other. And then we're going to make sure that they're both set to black. We're going to set both colors to black. And then we're going to lower the opacity for one of them all the way to 0. And then we're going to lower the opacity for one of them to like 50%, something like that. So that's basically going to give us, you know, enough dark space over here to put some text. So I'm going to go ahead and press layout on the strip and align our content to the left. That way we can put some text right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some text just like that. We're going to make it kind of large and we're going to make it white. And for this text, let's go ahead and choose something like full service video production company. And of course we want to make sure that the first letter of each word is capitalized because that is a little bit more professional and more scannable for your users. So of course you probably don't want to say something quite this vague, but we can add some paragraph text underneath it. So let's just say we grab this one right here, this little bit of text right here. And then we're just going to add a little paragraph underneath it, paste in the text, make it white. Now what I want to do is I want to add a little bit more text. So I'm just going to drag out this text right here. I'm going to say view reel, and this is going to be the call to action for this hero section. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a little play icon. So I'm going to go down to icons, more icons, and type in play. Okay. I'm going to make this white. And I'm going to bring this down quite a bit, something right about there, and put it right next to view reel. So minus what the text says, I do believe this gives the impression of a more professional website. Now let's check out the next section. So the next section is just a nice white blank section with their logo and a little bit more about them. And again, another play button. So let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to add another section. We'll make it white and we'll go ahead and give us some room to work with by making it 800 pixels. We'll go ahead and add their logo to the page. We're going to go ahead and grab out a paragraph. Let's make this like 600 pixels in width, maybe 800 pixels in width. We're going to center it to the screen and we're also going to press edit text and make sure it's centered as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy all of this content right here. And I'm just going to paste it in. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste in the little play button from above. But we're going to make it black now. And we'll make it a little bit bigger. So now what I want to do is grab all three elements. We're going to group them. And then we're going to center it inside of this strip. Perfect. And then if we check out the next section, it's just going to be a strip with an image inside of it. So let's go ahead and add a strip. And we're going to change the background to an image. And it's going to look just like that. Then below that, we have another strip with another section inside of it. Now this one does have a larger title with another paragraph text similar right here. So let's go ahead and build that. We're just going to add a strip. Once again, let's go ahead and make it 800 pixels for now, and we can adjust it later. We're going to go ahead and grab out, let's say, a heading 5. I think that's going to be perfect size. And we're going to say our story. And make sure it's centered. Then I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste this paragraph text right here. Make sure it's centered with the our story. We'll grab both and we'll make sure it's centered on the actual page. And then I'm just going to go ahead and copy all of this over and paste it in. And then for this title, we're also going to space out the characters just a little bit. Now let's go ahead and group these elements together, and we're going to go ahead and center this section. And once again, I think there's a perfect amount of white space on the top and bottom, so we're just going to leave it as is. Now if we switch back over, we're going to have another large section for a video. So once again, this one is pretty easy. We're just going to add a strip. We're going to make it 800 pixels in size. Change strip background to a video. And now this section is done. So if we go back over to the website, after this second video, we're going to have a giant list of clients. And then below that, we're going to have some testimonials. So let's go ahead and add a new section. Now for this one, I do just kind of want to make this strip, the clients, and then we'll add another white strip afterwards for the testimonials. Let's go ahead and start by pulling over all the clients. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here, grab this little title text, and we're going to paste it in right here and say our clients. And the next thing we have is a 5x5 grid of all their clients. However, to save some time, I'm only going to do about maybe two rows of it. So what we're going to do is come over to list and grid. We're going to do blank repeaters. And then let's just go ahead and drag something like this out right here. We're going to go ahead and bring it in a little bit, but then we're also going to bring these in quite a bit as well. Something like that. And then we're going to go ahead and set the background color to nothing. And with that complete, we can go ahead and start beginning work on the testimonial section. So what we're going to want to do is actually grab a slider. So we're going to come over to interactive, full width sliders, and we're just going to drag out one of these. Now you can choose whichever one you want to use because of course we're going to be changing it. But I do like that this one is already set for testimonials. And I will say I'm not really a big fan of how this one is laid out. We're going to try to make it look kind of luxury like this, but maybe with a different style. And we're also going to be adding more space in between the client section and the bottom and the testimonial section. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to go ahead and do is delete all slides except for one. That way we can just duplicate the slide with our current design and make it look really nice. We're also going to change the background color, and then we're also going to change the color of the text. Okay, so we just pasted in the text, and now what I want to do is just go ahead and add an image. And this one can be, you know, the client's icon. This could be an image of the person. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just add this logo right here from someone they've worked with. We're gonna bring it down quite a bit. Put it right here, and then let's go ahead and add some text. And this one's going to be the client's name. And then we're also going to go ahead and add another paragraph text. And this one's going to be the actual name of the person, the person's name. And then below that, we're going to paste in that text again, make it a little bit smaller, but then we're just going to copy and paste the name of his role there at that company. Okay, and we'll go ahead and give it a little bit more space for breathing room. Something like that looks pretty nice. We'll go ahead and group all of these together, and we'll go ahead and make this image look like it matches. Just like that. And with the slideshow selected, we're going to go into the settings, and we're going to say we're going to change the slide buttons and the navigation arrow colors. Just like that. And now what we can do is press manage slides, and we can just duplicate this a few times. And then of course, if you want to, you can go to each slide and change out the testimonial, the picture, the name, the company, and everything like that. But I do think this would look a lot nicer. And if we preview the site, here's what we're gonna see. Perfect. Now, if we check out the website, underneath the testimonial section, we're gonna have another image. So once again, this is another easy section. We're just gonna add a strip, change the background to an image, and we're gonna choose this one right here. And then below that, we have another section that is for their passion. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just come over here. We're gonna grab this Our Stories strip. We're gonna come down here and we're gonna paste it right underneath this picture image. And what we're gonna do is just change the title. And I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this text over. Now this text doesn't have as much as the story, so it is going to adjust the height just a little bit. I think something around this size looks pretty good. Around 600 pixels. Great. Next, if we go back, we have another video strip. So once again, really easy. We're just gonna add a strip. We're gonna make it 800 pixels high. Change strip background to a video, just like that. And below that, there is a section for their work. So we're gonna go ahead and just copy and paste this section. We're going to change our passion to our work. We're going to copy this text over, paste it in. And then we're also going to go ahead and raise up this strip a little bit. Now we're not going to center it. And something that I see that they did right here is this is kind of like a title for the section below, but there's too much negative space here that it makes it look like they're completely different sections. If we go up here to the top, you know, each section has its own like bit of content, and then it seems like it's broken up by the videos or images. So we don't really want to do that for the Our Work section. We want it to feel more connected to the Our Work section. So then what I want to do is come over to Add. We're gonna go to Gallery. And what we want to do is probably choose a gallery like this right here. We're gonna bring it down right underneath the Our Work section. And we're gonna press this little stretch icon, just like that. and it's going to stretch it to the full width of the screen. Now, what I want to do first is just go ahead and press Manage Media. We're going to select all and delete all. Then we're going to add images. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring in a bunch of our images and press Done. Then what I want to do is go into the gallery. We're going to go Layouts, Grid, Change Layout. And we want to say Fit. And we also want to be 4 items per row. And then the spacing for the columns we're going to set to 0. So we want them to be side by side. And as we can see here, there's some vertical spacing that we kind of want to get rid of. So what we want to do for the settings here for this Pro Gallery is select Grid. We're going to select the thumbnail resize to crop. We're going to set their image ratio to 16:9. We're going to set the images per row to 4 and the spacing to 0. And we should have an effect that looks like this, which if we go back to our example site, it's going to look like that. Perfect. Now, if you have a ton of different items in here, more than 8, you want to do the load more button. That way the site is super long if the user doesn't really want to scroll through all of it, and it will help save time on your load speed of your site. But since I only have 8 here for this example, we can go ahead and turn off the load more button. And then last but not least, the last section on the website is a services section. So we're going to have a title text, a little bit of information, and then it looks like they use the FAQ section or the FAQ app to actually create this. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this our work. I'm going to paste it underneath this gallery. I'm going to change the title to services. I'm going to copy over this text. For this one, I'm actually just going to bring down this section. We're going to make it really long, and we're just going to put the FAQ thing here in this section. So I'm going to come over to Add Apps. I'm just going to type in FAQ, Wix FAQ, press Add to Site. Now it's going to add this right here. And of course, we can go into the settings, press Display. We can turn off the title. We can turn off the search bar. We can display FAQs as categories, but we're not going to do that for this one. Of course, we can go into the design and change the colors. For now, we're just going to remove the background color for the app. And we're also going to go ahead and change the icon from an arrow to a plus and minus. And we're also going to set the divider to the accent color. And then for the questions, if we look at the other site, their question is actually quite large and then their text is small. So what we want to do is go into the questions paragraph, and we're going to go ahead and make this like 22 pixels large, like that. And then of course, once you're done with the design, you can go into Manage FAQs, and then you can change the questions and answers to the services. And that is basically it for recreating Real City Films photography / videography website in Wix. Now, if you do like some of the changes that I made, feel free to give this video a like and consider subscribing for more Wix content coming out really soon. Thank you all again, and I'll see you all in the next one.